Today on Rappler, following the hashtag Million People March, citizens stage a prayer rally against the pork barrel.
We believe hindi talaga ito PDAF, no? Kasi locally funded ito, in-integrate na ito. But para nalang mawala ng mga spekulasyon.
Vice President Binay removes the 200 million peso social services fund from his own budget. And the MNLF Nurmiswari faction wants Islamic countries to mediate in the Zamboanga standoff. Hello, I'm Ai Makaraig, sitting in for Maria Ressa. Welcome to Rappler, your social news network. Only a few hundred attended the gathering at the EDSA Shrine Wednesday, the follow-up activity to the hugely successful hashtag Million People March. Organizers say it's not in the numbers. Church leaders denounce the acceptance of corruption as part of the political culture. Bea Kupin reports.
The President, the Senate, the Supreme Court, and even the Vice President have all made moves to soothe the public outcry. Apparently, it's not enough. Citizens hold another protest against all forms of pork barrel. This time, it's a prayer vigil held in the same place where Filipinos converged to topple presidents in the past, the EDSA Shrine. 2 weeks ago, Janet Lim Napoles, the woman who allegedly siphoned billions in lawmaker funds, surrenders to the president. The Senate Blue Ribbon Committee begins an investigation on the scam. 2 weeks after, the Supreme Court issues a temporary restraining order on PDAF and the Malampaya Fund. A few hours before EDSA Tayo begins, Vice President Jejomar Binay says he will remove pork from his own budget. President Benigno Aquino III says within the week, cases will be filed against Napoles and legislators implicated in the scam.
Kasi parang kung hindi sila mag-rally, parang iniisip ng gobyerno, wala lang yan sa tao. Parang yung rally, yung way na talaga na nangyayailam yung tao.
But the prayer vigil isn't as peaceful as organizers hoped it would be. A little after interfaith prayers begin, Anakbayan, Piston, Migrante and Kilusang Mayo Uno marchers arrive with placards. One police officer rips a protester's placard apart. An altercation ensues.
Siyempre, sa bawat storya naman mayroong mga kontrabida, may mga bida. Yun nga lang, hindi natin maiwasan yung kaguluhan.
The event ends with prayers and music and wraps up by 4 p.m. Economist Winnie Monsod urges citizens to hit politicians when it hurts the most during the elections.
Di huwag natin iboto. That is the final judgment, is it not? That's it. We can shout and scream, etc. But unless we act in a manner that is going to show them na talagang galit tayo, tuloy pa rin ang ligaya nila.
While the venue and the characters are different from last month's Million People March, the message is the same. Citizens will not let it go until government fixes the pork barrel system. Bea Kupin, Rappler, Manila.
Vice President Jejomar Binay forgoes the 200 million peso social services fund in his own budget, which some lawmakers describe as his pork barrel. The removal of the 200 million brings the office of the Vice President's budget down to 217 million pesos from 417 million. During the House budget hearing of the OVP, some lawmakers said the fund is subject to the rules as the pork barrel and came from the PDAF of then Senator Benigno Aquino. Senate Finance Committee Chairman Francis Escudero calls the amount an unusual fund. Binay's Chief of Staff Benjamin Martinez says they are willing to sacrifice.
We believe hindi talaga ito PDAF, no? Kasi locally funded ito, in-integrate na ito. But para nalang mawala ng mga spekulasyon. So we took the cudgels and sabi niya in support of the President's call to abolish the pork. Okay lang naman. Sabi ni Vice President, tama na Benji. No? Kasi kung iyan lang ang magiging problema, let's give it.
Gunshots continue to echo in Zamboanga City and nearby Basilan province on Wednesday as the standoff between government forces and followers of Nur Miswari enters its third day. The government sends emissaries to Miswari's top aide, Javier Malik, and his men, but an official tells Rappler Malik wants a third party, preferably an international organization representative, to mediate the crisis. On day one of the siege, Miswari spokesman Emmanuel Fontanilla said they want Indonesia to intervene in its capacity as a third-party facilitator of the tripartite review of the 1996 peace agreement. Miswari's followers also want the Indonesian government to activate the Organization of Islamic Cooperation Ceasefire Committee. As of Tuesday, at least 180 rebels are spread out in Barangay Santa Barbara, Santa Catalina, and Talon-Talon, holding 163 hostages. At least 81,000 residents are trapped inside the military police blockade set up to contain the three villages. On Wednesday, firefights between the government and the MNLF continue in Barangay Canelar and San Roque. But Armed Forces spokesperson Brigadier General Domingo Tutaan says the encounter in Canelar was not necessarily a spillover.
As I've said, this could be probably part of those who wanted to go in or to go out. But then again, the security forces in the area were able to. So we cannot categorically say that this is a spillover in some sort. This could be some groups who would want to enter, but it could mean many things. But without the confirmatory reports that are being sent here at General Headquarters, we cannot speculate on what that incident is all about.
The standoff between the MNLF and the government displaces 14,300 people in Zamboanga City as thousands continue to leave villages occupied by the rebel group. 5 MNLF commanders led the attack on the city Monday, killing at least 12 people and injuring 21 others. A government social worker says about 5,000 residents from 6 communities arrived overnight at the city's grandstand, which serves as an evacuation center. A relief worker says the evacuees now face a different threat: heat and hunger. In Barangay Santa Catalina, Philippine Marines exchanged fire with gunmen who were using 10 residents as human shields. City Communication Officer Christian Olasiman says there are 15 evacuation centers in different barangays. Senate President Franklin Drilon grilled Supreme Court justices on their orders stopping the release of the pork barrel for the rest of 2013. During the budget hearing of the Judiciary Wednesday, Drilon asked Associate Justices Diosdado Peralta and Marvic Leonen when the High Court will be able to issue a decision on the case. Oral arguments are set for October 8th. Drilon says, "I am just pointing out that if you don't decide by December 31, the budget item will expire. It is the role of the executive to release or not to release the budget." But Leonen and Peralta repeatedly refused to answer Drilon's questions, saying the hearing is not the proper venue and they could not speak on behalf of the 14 justices handling the case. Apple unveils its second new design for the iPhone 5, called the iPhone 5S, at its Cupertino headquarters Tuesday, Wednesday in the Philippines. The iPhone 5S, touted as a high-end upgrade to the iPhone 5. It's made up of high-grade aluminum and comes in silver, gold, and gray. It also features an A7 chip that Apple says will bring 64-bit desktop class architecture to a smartphone for the first time. The iPhone 5S also features a fingerprint sensor known as Touch ID for added security on the device. The tech company also launches a cheaper model of its mobile phones called the iPhone 5C with casing made out of colorful plastic. The 5C aims to compete with rival low-cost smartphones which use Google's Android operating system. In a Rappler Google Plus Hangout, Philippine Macintosh user groups Albert Cuenca and Chica.com's Roland Benzon say they didn't think Apple would go the two-model route, but adds the move makes sense.
Looking at it overall, I think Apple didn't disappoint in the sense of, in terms of its product offerings, what they showed today. It kind of makes sense to differentiate and make one less serious for a more, commercial, younger market, and then make the other one feel a little more premium.
True, but ultimately it's the market that validates Apple's products. I think the color will sell because of the lower price point and the variety. You know, at the end of the day, there's an Apple for everyone, so to speak.
The new iPhones are expected to be out on September 20 in key Apple markets, while the rest of the world can expect the phones in December. Apple also announces its new and redesigned operating system, iOS 7, will be available for download on September 18. But some analysts expressed disappointment at the launch, and Apple stocks fall 2.3% after the latest iPhone event. Let's now look at Rappler's Wrap for today, a list of the 10 most important events around the world you shouldn't miss. At number 3, the United States urges Syria to destroy its chemical weapons as it schedules top-level talks with Russia to head off planned airstrikes on Syria. On Monday, Russia's foreign minister suggests a plan to have Syria give up its chemical weapons to prevent a foreign military attack. Many see the plan as an opportunity to avert a full-blown military intervention in Syria. At number 5, U.S. intelligence officials declassify documents that reveal the National Security Agency violated privacy rules for 3 years when it sifted through phone records of Americans with no suspected links to terrorists. A judge ordered the disclosure of the documents after the Electronic Frontier Foundation filed a Freedom of Information lawsuit. The documents reveal privacy violations from 2006 to 2009 are part of the agency's effort to track potential terror plots. And at number 9, former Olympic gold medalist Thomas Bach is elected president of the International Olympic Committee. It is the first time the position is held by an Olympic champion. The 59-year-old German also dismisses allegations his close ties with Kuwait influenced his victory over 5 others vying for the position. Bach says he took care not to make promises to any IOC members during his campaign. For the full top 10, visit Rappler.com's The Wrap. Few celebrities in Philippine cinema can match the range and versatility of Sonata lead actress and Rappler columnist Cherie Hill. G. Tonji tells us more.
I'm here at the home of actor-turned-producer Cherie Hill. She opens up not only her home but her journey as an artist. Born from a family of actors, Evangeline Rose de Mesa Eigenman, or Cherie Hill, carved her path as a compelling actress of our generation. She's also the producer of the film Sonata, directed by her favorite tandem, Peque Gallaga and Lori Reyes.
I'm so excited because I'm more inspired than ever. We got an A rating from the CEB, and what a feeling!
Hill's role in Sonata as Regina Cadena hits close to home. Sonata's writer Wango Gallaga and Hill collaborated closely on the film's script, drawing from her real-life experiences. Hill had throat surgery in 2012.
So I played the role of an opera singer who lost her voice. The doctors messed up her throat, and all she had to do was to come back home. As Wango says, the tagline, if all is lost in the world and there's nowhere to go, one just has to find her way back home.
Hill also returns to ABS-CBN for Muling Buksan ng Puso as Marieta Beltran. Hill reveals acting in the teleserye is an outlet for her real-life emotions. Her children live in New York, and she admits the distance is hard on her.
It's not like I have to long and constantly miss them. I do, but we're in touch thanks to technology. So I dedicate this role to my children. When they see my tears, it's all about them. But that's the truth, and it's real.
In her 35 years in the entertainment industry, she continues to evolve by challenging her range as an artist.
They asked me, will you ever direct? I said, never. It's a headache. Now I'm beginning to have this pang of wanting to direct and learning to direct.
She talks about the secret to her longevity in show business.
Loving what you do. The secret to having a fruitful career in the entertainment world is just simply loving what you do and to be constantly hungry for stories to tell, for parts to play, and for just feeling alive. I feel alive when I do it. Without it, there's no way I can thrive, I think.
Gitanji, Rappler, Manila.
Every story on Rappler has a mood meter which gives you 8 emotions to choose from. Click how you feel and your vote comes down to the mood navigator in the middle of the front page, which crowdsources the mood of the day. It also gives you the top 10 stories that got the most clicks. In today's Mood Navigator, the story still with the most clicks is on the Zamboanga clash, but we have other news stories that made it to the list. Here, PH only emerging Asian nation with strong momentum, according to the OECD Development Center, has 61% of readers feeling inspired, 34% happy. From tech, the big iPhone launch, new colors for Apple's latest iPhones, 78% happy, but 14% don't care. And from last night, the floods and traffic, the great equalizer, had Chris Aquino taking the MRT, 45% of people are happy, 22% don't care, 22% amused. All contributing to the mood of the day. Today, most people are happy. That's Rappler's newscast for today, Wednesday, September 11, 2013. Visit Rappler.com and watch your newscast Monday to Friday. Tell us how you feel on our mood meter and help us crowdsource the mood of the day. I'm Ayi Makaraig, and as we say at Rappler, tomorrow begins today. We leave you with this video montage of ultra runner Macmillan, the founder and CEO of Pray, Read, Eat, Play Foundation.